Good afternoon, everyone. I
Hello,
am
hello.
stoked on coffee. I have been in front of the computer for 6 straight hours. So let's get this thing going.
There we go.
This is a great week. Normally we'd be at IT Nation. We'd be probably going live from IT Nation or something, but
Yep.
this year Skip and I rolled back on conferences and we really leaned into dev and build. So
Mm-hmm.
you don't know this about me. I do a PBR cycle. It's also a great camping beer, but plan, build, run. Do that in
Yep.
cycles and you won't go wrong in IT. You plan what you're going to do, you build it, then you run that plan. So here at Humanize IT, we've been running in a 3-year cycle. Our plan started in 2022, which we launched into 2023. And in
Yep.
2024, we're planning in 2022, 2023, we built what we did, and then we ran that in 2024. Now we're in 2025 where we reset plans and
Yep.
we built in the same year.
Yeah.
And now we're
Busy.
moving into a cycle where we're going to continue to build probably through Q2 of next year. And then we will start running the plan in 2026 to really highlight what we have built, because
Mm-hmm.
we have come a long ways, people.
We have.
And the advantage is here in November, every year on our events calendar, we talk about what we do at the end of the year. In this case, we're in a planning phase, and we were expecting to be finishing up a build phase.
Yep.
And so it's kind of odd. And I think the rest of you need to be in a planning phase as well right now.
Yeah, definitely.
It's definitely because the last couple of podcasts Skip and I have done have been focused on AI
Mm-hmm.
and end of year activities. And there's a big mesh happening right now. There's a race condition where if
Mm-hmm.
you're in an MSP and you are not implementing an AI solution right now for your clients, you're not advertising yourself as the AI consultant,
Yep.
you are behind. And we're going to cover this in our podcast on Monday. So tune in for that. But right now, we're at the end of the year. And I know
Well,
Skip has a
hold
lot
on.
of things to say as well.
I want to chime in on that a little bit as well. So I think as business owners, sometimes obviously, we know the risk. You're looking to get out there, but also there's been times you've been burned. All right. If you've been in business very long, you've been burned. And this tendency comes up and goes, I don't want to waste my time and energy doing this. Maybe I'll take it a little bit slower. Yes, I will be aggressive, just not very aggressive, right? And so you're thinking, you'll hold back a little bit, and that's a reasonable assumption, all right? And when you look at AI in general, it is impacting all businesses, not just IT, right? So that seems to be a reasonable approach, but here's the deal. Your clients are looking to maybe do that. Yes, we'll push it, but maybe not really aggressively sort of deal. And they'll be waiting as well. So when all this breaks down, you are going to be doing things at the exact same time that your clients are. And that means you're learning, in the middle of it. Whereas you could go to them with just one step ahead in the roadmap and say, hey, I did this just last quarter. Let me share with you how this worked out. And that positions you as leader in that marketplace. So you're going to have to be, this is one of the areas where I think you're going to have to be one step ahead of your customers. And that means getting a bit more aggressive with AI.
Yeah, and I've gotten to the point where I think there's enough money to be made as a moonlighting consultant. Remember when you were younger and you had time on your hands and you could moonlight?
That was a long time ago, man.
Remember that? Hey, you know what? I've got extra time in my evenings. I'm going to go start building Windows 2000 SBS servers. Because you didn't know at the time what hell you were just about to walk into. But anyways, you're like, hey, that's an extra $1,000. I'm looking at vibe coding as the same way. I'm like, you know what? I'm willing to bet I could go out to the average business networking group and say, hey guys, I will vibe code any app you want for hot dogs. Just be like, I'm gonna go to the moonlighting day. I just want some extra cash. I want to buy a new camper next year, so I'm gonna start fundraising by vibe coding. I think it'd be hilarious if I paid for my new fifth wheel completely vibe coding over the next 6 months. Like, I'm just gonna put vibe on the side of it just to show off. Like,
there you go.
What did you do? How did you afford that camper? I'm like, well, I built 60 apps over the past 6 months. And so I really think that people need to be investigating how AI fits into their stack, not just for them, but for your clients. Like how, and that's the whole topic of Monday's podcast. If you want to really dive deep into this, listen to Monday's podcast. Jennifer Blame and I are talking in depth on how to sell AI as a service, how to engage your clients on it. And she's got a whole product over there. So it's a really, really cool. It's going to be a longer podcast. It's going to be about 35 minutes, but I guarantee it's going to be one of the most impactful this year. And that's why I'm promoting. I'm jumping the queue and I'm putting it at the front. And so, but this end of year, you all need to be investigating this stuff. You all need to be looking in, what does 2026 look like? And every year we say end of year activities, do proposals, get some snapshots of your data so you can talk to your clients about it later. Build trust, give them a roadmap of 2026. So I'm going to switch things around a little bit this year and say the number one thing you can talk to your clients about for next year is, look, AI is hitting. We can automate a lot of processes in your business, or we can build new processes in your business, but I need to learn from you what it is that is facing you right now.
Yes.
And then we can investigate together. Are there AI solutions in your industry? Are there AI solutions present that are going to give you an advantage? We don't know what it is. Maybe it's Copilot Enterprise. Maybe it's something as simple as you just need to be using ChatGPT before you place orders. Whatever it is, you can help them, but you need to listen to them. The same thing we've been preaching for 5-6 years now.
It is.
Listen to your clients and set up time in December, January to do an AI mapping of their tool sets.
Yep.
That needs to be on your calendar right now. Walk in with a proposal for next year and say, hey, look, for $1,500 a month, we will cover you next year for AI mapping, whatever it is. Or just say, in January, let's kick off a discovery session to talk about how AI is going to be integrated into your business. I guarantee you, of your 100 clients, your 50 clients, your 500 clients, wherever you are in the world, half of them at least are like, I am going to get left behind if I don't implement AI. They're trying to go to every conference they can. They're plugging in data into ChatGPT and they're desperate. But these small businesses need you. They need your expertise from the SQL injection days of watching customers completely get destroyed because of security issues. They need your knowledge of out-of-band backups. They need your knowledge of risk management. And they need your understanding of what is an API, how does data flow, how can LLM jacking affect a company. Those are all things you'll figure out eventually. There's so much we don't know right now, and the wrong people are making decisions.
Yes, the people that aren't in IT, because they've enabled some of these tools where you don't have to be, very tech savvy, I guess, to do some of these things. It gives you some prompts, and people just enter them in. I was actually in ChatGPT earlier today, and interesting little side network. You talk about sidelining. Adam, this is more personal family stuff, but in a little bitty TP-Link box, and I'm like, why is this not here? And so I go out to ChatGPT and I said, how do I change the setting? I don't have time to waste on this. Right? ChatGPT comes back, just do this, and this, just fires it right off, goes, there you go. Thank you. You're welcome. And I go to look, and those menu options aren't there. And so, then I get kind of worked up about it, and I do a little bit of deeper dive, and I realize that is a function that is not available at all, period, on that platform. It's one that's commonly, complained about in the user groups and all the discussion threads, that you actually can't do that. But ChatGPT gave me some really simple menu options on how to do that. So this is how things are getting in place with AI a lot right now. And do you really want to manage that environment next year if it was set up with that sort of approach of, hey, let's throw a bunch of commands at it and see what happens? So yeah, we really need to take the lead on this. And I know from, a lot of our member meetings that we have, that some of these types of meetings that Adam and I talk about, they sound good. All right. And when we're working with folks, we get lots of head nods and yes and yes. But when it comes time to actually get out there and engage with your clients, it's a different topic. It's a different tone, an angle, whatever. And some of you are unsure how to get those kicked off. So one suggestion on this, always, try to relay some really good practical stuff. AWS really laid out a fantastic opportunity for you a couple of weeks ago. All right? So huge outage impacted everybody. All right. It's a great opportunity for you to come back and go, hey, we got that little outage behind us. I think it was a really big outage. All right. But anyway, it's behind us. I want to sit down and while we can all still remember it, take a little quick snapshot of what went wrong. What was the impact of that? Was it expensive? Was it painful? Did you guys even notice it? Right. It may be really easy, but start out with, that's a super easy way to do some business case analysis on their line of business apps. There's all kinds of great information that you can do. And then, so that's an easy, it's here today. It's fresh on everyone's mind. It's not anything odd. You can do that. And then you can come back later and go, I want to follow up on that meeting. And obviously AI is a big deal. I'd like to capture some more information about how we could consider AI for you guys. And I'll do the research for you. I'll look at it and we'll have a meeting about this in January. Right. So kind of an easy 1-2 sort of approach there. And your research, let me pause there. Your research isn't huge. Okay.
Yeah.
It's gathering some information and then it's really just continuing that discussion. But a really easy on-ramp there into some of these conversations that we're talking about over and over and over again. I get it. I really do. So here's the tip on how to do that. Leverage AWS's hiccup there.
Yeah, definitely. I think you all have the knowledge you need. If you've been around since the .com, this is another .com. It's just a way faster one.
Yes.
And so end of year, you really are doing your clients an injustice if you are not talking about AI with them.
Mm-hmm.
2026 is going to be a hurricane of change. And you want to be the lighthouse in the middle of all that. You want to be the beacon that's going to be like, your client hears about a new AI that's going to make everything better in their business as long as they give them their QuickBooks link.
Yeah.
You need to be one that they come to go, hey, this new feature I heard about, this business group I was in, has the capability of doing all this stuff for us. How do I do this? Like, well, let's think it through.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you want this to have access? Let's look into how they're protecting your data. Let's see what their privacy policy looks like. Just the normal stuff that you already know.
Yeah.
And just apply that here as well. And don't be a curmudgeon so much. Let them do the risk analysis. You're there to offer that lighthouse, that light on what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So that you can be the one who is guiding them. And when they have more questions, they come and ask you. And maybe eventually you start a consulting contract, like, hey, you have to be on our silver plan to really use this, or our gold plan, or whatever it is. And then you include AI in that stack. And maybe you have AI employees. And those employees are going to help people vibe code. They're going to help them get answers out of Claude or Replit or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the service you're providing. You can decide that you have to work with people like, Jen Bleem on what's going on and how to sell that. They've got entire plans around. I don't have plans around that. My plan is to go and have a few beers and tell people we'll vibe code for whiskey. That's not a business plan.
Right.
But I believe in this so much. It's going to change the industry. I guarantee at this point next year, you're not going to recognize the software landscape. You're going to be sick of hearing about AI, but you're also going to be impressed by it. Just like I was sick about hearing the stupid thing called Web 2.0. I got sick of hearing the term Wi-Fi. You know what? It's 802.11 people. Get over yourselves. Anyway, I got tired of hearing about this stuff, but it was so ubiquitous. We all made a crap ton of money on it. Any snot-nosed kid out of college could build a $10,000 a month empire on just a quick set of knowledge on building SBS servers. And that's the way the world is. And today it's all in AI. And it's not just vibe coding. It's not just Claude building documentation. It's not just Perplexity doing research. There's so much more to this. And it's all built around APIs. I'm excited to see what Zapier and Make are going to do. It's going to be insane, people. You're not going to recognize the world next year. And it's going to be small businesses that are leading the charge.
Yes. And that's the cool part about it. This is really going to empower small businesses to do way more than they could before. We mentioned this before. I think that's the best use of AI. It's not a cost savings. It's a doing more sort of function. And so I think that's going to be powerful. I feel like, I'm wrestling with this, warning that keeps going off in the back of my mind. So I've been, with all the work that we're doing,
I'm calling it the old guy warning.
Maybe that's it. I have it before. Yeah. But I've just been doing a ridiculous amount of work with APIs here of late. And, we've all been there. There's challenges, the key, the ID and the keys are right. Something wasn't working. What permission do you need? You're driving me crazy. All this kind of stuff. And that's been an IT issue forever, right? That has just always been our hell to endure. We've never really been able to share that with anybody. But as applications have grown, if you stop and look at it, just about every platform out there has some sort of API connection to it. And your customers might not know that, right? But they're probably, admins in their QuickBooks systems, right? What do you think the chances are that if some tool gave them instructions, they could end up on an API configuration screen, right? And all of a sudden they're, maybe a bad example, but whatever, they're somewhere where all of a sudden they're creating credentials to tap into their resources, and they do it a time or two, and, things aren't quite as they expected, and they go, screw it. I don't know. I'll just grant all, and see if that works. And it works, and they never go back and change that. Right. So I don't, try not to be real doomsday here sort of deal, but there's a lot going on that your clients could be doing that you would just have to clean up the mess later.
Yep.
Get in front of it now, make money off of it.
Yeah, you still get paid.
Keep everybody happy.
Mess.
Yeah.
You still get known as a janitor.
Right.
I'd rather be known as the innovator who got them into a mess and a pile of cash than the person who is known for call this person to clean up the mess.
Yes.
And you know what? My big thing is right now. Let's not talk AI for a second. The number one selling component for 2026, 2027, and it's going to ramp up from there, out of band backups. Iron Mountain's going to make a comeback here, people. You guys have all been relying on on-prem backups and backup solutions for so long. We're going back to tape. I want an air gap between
there we go.
my data from yesterday and anything with an electron in it.
Yeah.
We're going to see LTO, and heck, we're going to bring back DLT while we're at it. We're going to see piles.
Some of that is still out there.
And they're going to be sitting there. We don't care if a fire hits because we've got backups to take care of fires. What we care about right now is corruption.
Mm-hmm.
We care about crypto locking. That kind of scenario is what we're worried about. And you already are prepared for this. You've gone through the classes. You've been through all the workshops dealing with crypto locking and dealing with air-gapped backups. Bring those conversations back and talk to your clients about them. Mm-hmm. Maybe they're not ready to adopt AI. That's great. The rest of the world is. Right. And if you don't have out-of-band backups right now, you're going to be another number on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Cyber warfare is getting a level up right now.
It is.
Bot versus bot warfare is here. Yeah. And we, as the passengers, are just going to have to watch it happen because it's going to happen so fast and so brutally. You're going to think, what do we do? And you're going to find that people who have air gap systems, who have analog, might be the ones who survive for 6 months. But what if you were the one who had AI and were generating a ton of cash on AI while having out-of-band backups? So when that internet storm does hit, when that massive, we don't even have a name for it yet, happens, now we have terms like DDoS, SQL injection. We invented those terms.
Yeah.
We didn't know what those were when they were happening, people.
Yeah, that's true.
We had to invent words
them up on the fly.
Them the businesses. And they're all part of your vocabulary now. Skip and I didn't have the idea of SQL injection in the 90s and the early 2000s. It wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
DDoS wasn't a thing. There weren't enough computers to DDoS with people with. You could email bomb somebody.
Yeah.
But you couldn't DDoS them. Nowadays, it's just part of the world. And there's something that's going to happen with bot versus bot warfare. We're going to have a new term for it. We have things like LLM jacking already, or prompt scraping, whatever that thing's called. And these are new words that come into vocabulary. Next year, there are going to be other ones. Preparing your client for 2026 is imperative right now. Get the sessions on the books for the end of the year, just like you have every year. But the theme this year is going to be, what are we doing in 2026? Here's what your roadmap looks like. Notice there's a lot of AI on it.
That's it.
And as always, stop and listen to your clients. Take a breath.
They'll give you tons of information.
And you can apply what's going on. All right. Thank you, Skip, for this. 20 minutes is up. We're over today, but this was a great session. We're end of year. It's November, people. You've got, 4 productive weeks left, and you're done.
Yep.
That's it. That's all you have. And you got to get these meetings on the books. Schedule out your January meetings. Get those going. Get onto the AI train. If you don't know how to do that, reach out to somebody like Jennifer Bleem. Reach out to me, and let's talk it through. All right. Thank you, Skip. We'll see everyone next week.